Good morning, Dubai. This is the Lovin Dubai show. It's Monday morning, the show with me, Casey.
And I'm Parth.
And we go through the big trending stories, such as you can now check your DEWA bills through ChatGPT.
And driverless taxis are going to hit the road this March.
We're talking about Terra Solis has closed its doors.
And scammers are now very innovative as a woman's bank cards were charged while still inside her bag.
We also have the news on how you can combat that later in the show. In today's rapid weather report, it's mostly sunny with temperatures ranging from 19 to 27 degrees. Are you into the halftime show? Were you watching the Super Bowl last night?
I was not, I was asleep.
Yeah, same. Same. But this morning...
It seemed fun.
It seemed fun.
It seemed fun. I mean, Bad Bunny, there were obviously talks before the show that people didn't want to do it. But I think, like, from whatever I've seen till now, this is one of the most creative halftime shows in years. I agree. I watched a 40-second clip and I got goosebumps. Yeah.
The quote beside it was, "The only thing that can beat hate is love," and it just felt so powerful. I have goosebumps thinking about it now. This was like the very end of it here. It was a 13-minute clip. By the way, football also was played during the halftime show, during the game.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk today about the halftime show and the ads. And so it was a very powerful moment until the president came out and tweeted that, what did he say? President of the US said,
quoting, President of the United States, Donald Trump said, "The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever," in all caps. "It makes no sense as it's an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent standards of success, creativity, excellence. Nobody understands the words this guy is saying. And the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching throughout the USA. The show is just a slap in the face of the country." That's not even the whole statement.
Yeah, it just goes on.
Yeah, it just goes on.
It just goes on, and you're like, how do you have time to just anyway, that's what he said. And then we've had some other tweets. So, for example, Chris Fade has jumped in and said, because the whole thing about Donald Trump is, what he's saying is he wants to see an American, right? And so Chris Fade has jumped in and said, "My son is half Mexican, half Lebanese. I'm so proud of Bad Bunny halftime show, and I don't understand why some people are against it." I also just think it's a really cool representation on such a global stage. Bad Bunny is the biggest artist in the world right now. A very renowned
artist, yes, he is, and he's massive. And obviously, they've also got a very big following in the US as well. You know, the
massive,
people,
of course,
massive. The people that speak Spanish over there. So, I mean, why not? If you can pull off a show like this, I would call him again.
Yeah, it's really, really good. If you've got 13 minutes to spare, watch the whole thing. Apparently there's an actual wedding that happened during it. So it looked like a family wedding and you're thinking celebration vibes.
It's like a setup, yeah.
But it was actually a wedding.
Wow.
Yeah, so sweet.
That's like a highlight of life, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Whoever's getting married over there, it's like a highlight of their lives. Like, yeah, I got married at the Super Bowl halftime show.
It's peak.
If whenever you want to watch your wedding, like just go on YouTube and type in the halftime 26.
You're not going to pay for the videographer because you've got it done.
It's free coverage.
You've got it done from all angles. And the other thing that people talk about, obviously, with the Super Bowl is the ads.
Yeah.
And this year they're getting more expensive.
Of course.
A media purchase for a 30-second ad in the Super Bowl's 2026 is $10 million. $10 million they pay for the ad, not including the celebrities that they include into their thing. So it's 10 million base. And these are some of the two that people are loving. Have you seen some of the ads?
I have not. No. I honestly, like, I know what it is, the entire Super Bowl culture and everything. I know what it is, but I just don't follow American football as such.
Well,
I follow real football, the one that's played in England. And
what do you call real football? Oh yeah, football. Okay.
Yeah, football. You should be like on my side in this.
Well, no, but we also have Irish football, Gaelic football,
yes,
which I would
Gaelic
argue is the real football.
Gaelic football. Yeah, fair
no,
enough.
but then there's soccer. But New England Patriots were playing the Seattle Seahawks on the football side, but on the ad side, you're getting 120 million plus viewers. And for people who aren't watching the show, we've got some clips of Kendall Jenner's one that people are saying is really funny. Because she's basically saying she's made her money off gaming and betting against, because she's dated a lot of players in the past, and then they've essentially not done so well. So she says there's a curse that she's made money betting against them, which I thought was very smart.
I mean, it's like a breaking the fourth wall, I guess, in terms of the playing field. But yeah, nice ads. Obviously they've spent a lot of things on the ads and everything. The whole talk point of the entire thing was Bad Bunny and this, but I'm just happy that he was able to pull off a good show.
Oh my God, yeah, it was amazing.
And betting ads, sports, it's the most expected thing. You can bet on the fact that there's going to be a betting ad in the Super Bowl. I think people have also done that as well.
True.
I would do it if I knew it.
Also, you also saw Bon Jovi, Matthew McConaughey, Bradley Cooper, all of the big artists and actors taking part in the ads as well. And you can check them out. I think that'll be fun for the next week or two to kind of see what they've done.
120 million plus views, actually insane. I don't think personally it's going to be like a tight competition, but like this Super Bowl halftime this year versus the World Cup, which is also happening in the US this year. I think it's going to be very interesting to see the numbers that are going to be coming out of it in terms of ads placement.
But I think it would be very either World Cup is global.
Exactly.
And Super Bowl is the biggest thing in the
because
States.
it's always been like a bit of a debate between the fans of each sport. I've always seen memes that Super Bowl has amassed this many views, and then World Cup is these many. Obviously, World Cup is
true.
Blew the views out of the water in comparison to Super Bowl, but it's going to be interesting to see how much the money is going to be for each ad on each the placement and everything. For 30-second block for this was 10 million, and this was just Super Bowl.
True. But this is a Super Bowl final.
Super Bowl final. The World Cup final is also being held in the same country. So I'm thinking how much is that going to be if you were to put a halftime break in between the World Cup?
I'd say there's some data on it.
Because I think there's been speculation as well that they're going to be having a halftime show within this World Cup final as well, like a proper halftime show, like a US style.
Classic. Well, that would make sense.
No, I don't think so. It shouldn't happen.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like countries bring in elements of what they do well, and America will bring in commercialization and making money from ads. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it. But let's jump in to our top story of the day.
So Dubai residents can now check their DEWA bills via ChatGPT, and this can be done directly through ChatGPT. It makes everyday tasks like checking bills and account details even easier. As AI adoption continues to grow across the UAE, the Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, DEWA, has rolled out this new feature, allowing customers to access key services through conversational AI.
Through ChatGPT, users can make bill inquiries, check account information, get support, and even find EV green charger locations. Very handy if you're an EV car driver. You can also get directions to the nearest charging stations and details about customer happiness centres.
And DEWA is the first government entity and the first utility provider in the world to offer services through AI platforms like ChatGPT. More services are expected to be added gradually. The managing director and CEO of DEWA, Saeed Mohammed Al Tayyar, said that the move reflects a major shift in how people interact with services as AI platforms become a primary channel for customer engagement. According to OpenAI, the number of users in the country tripled last year, with around 60% of residents aged 18 to 24 and half of those aged 25 to 34 using ChatGPT every week.
I would say the numbers are more than that.
Yeah, much more.
I would say
Much more than that.
we're using it like 10 million times a day. We did try to access DEWA on ChatGPT, and although we were able to get updated information, we weren't able to figure out how to pay our bills until we went directly onto the DEWA app, which has Ramas, which is the ChatGPT chatbot, in the top right-hand corner. And from there, you enter a ChatGPT that's within the DEWA app, and you can do all your services from there.
So, yeah, it's Dubai integrating AI into everything. I mean, it's a good thing. It makes life easier for a lot of people, especially for the residents aged 25 to 34 who wanted to be quickly paid. For people like me, who also are now getting into the world of adulting and paying bills, it's going to be easy for me as well if I have any doubts as to how much calculation is there and how is it calculated, etc., etc., etc. It's quite nice to see that.
DEWA has always been, I would say, one of the better platforms for bill paying in terms of simplifying it, and the bills are always laid out in such a way that it's very clear where your spend has gone. I remember once I could see that my spend had gone way up, and it was because there was a leaky pipe, but I could see
it was because of a leak.
That was what had happened.
Yeah. It amazing. I hope I get to use it properly as well because I'm moving into the world of adulting and paying my own bills. I'm 21 years old, so don't give me that.
I didn't give you anything. So do you want to tell us more about it?
No, I mean
what bills are you going to start to pay soon?
Light, water, just the basic bills, internet, and I'm going to be. I'm
in charge.
I'm not afraid to say I'm going to be using the AI chatbot. I'm going to milk it. I'm going to be using it for everything possible.
But I mean, that's what it's there
tell
for.
Tell me how to, first question I'm going to be asking after paying my bill is what can I do to decrease the bill next month?
That's a smart question.
That's a decent question, yeah. Tell me how, apart from the obvious, switch off your lights, but apart from that, summer's coming, how do I properly utilize, how do I make sure that I properly conserve energy from my AC or whatever without having to spend a lot on bills.
I wish I had been smart enough to ask those questions over the years.
It's not. I think it's basic. It's just thinking from a monetary perspective.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Basic. Let's jump into our next story. Driverless taxis to hit the roads this March. They are officially arriving in Dubai. Dubai is set to launch the UAE's first autonomous taxi service. So we've seen some driverless taxis. We've heard about the pilot periods happening in different areas across the city. Now we've learned that an autonomous taxi service will launch, kicking off with a fleet of 100 fully self-driving vehicles coming this March.
And it's already been road tested at the highest level. His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, Dubai's Crown Prince, recently took a ride in Beidou Apollo Go driverless car to the World Government Summit, showing that the future transport is truly hands-off.
The initiative is powered by a partnership between Pony AI, Uber and Baidu, working alongside Dubai's Road and Transport Authority. With this launch, Dubai becomes the first city in the UAE to introduce self-driving taxis, marking a major step forward towards a wider national rollout of autonomous transport in the years ahead.
It's going to be amazing. I don't like conversing with taxi drivers as much. That's my first thought that got in my head when I heard the story. Genuinely, out of everything, I know it's a very good initiative. I know it's
You never talk to taxi drivers?
No, it's not I never talk. It's I don't prefer talking.
Yeah, I know.
I remember when I had come back from India last year, I had landed at early morning. It's midnight, early morning. Mm-hmm. It was 4 a.m. And then this guy was telling me stories, and then this guy, I mean, it was nice for that time being. And then he's asking me questions. He's like, what are you doing? And then do you like this? Do you like this? And yeah, India is like this, and then these different states. I'm like, yeah. Just I'm not someone who can say no, so I end up conversing Sometimes even
Yeah.
more than the driver, and then, yeah, I don't.
Watching the show, anyone watching? On
Do you like
Facebook?
conversing with drivers? Like not, I'm not talking about like not talking about if you can converse. I'm talking. Do you like?
Do you
it?
like a chit chat?
Do you like a chit chat?
You know what's funny is I would say generally no, because as soon as you go into a taxi, you're thinking, oh, I can get all my admin stuff done on my phone. But I actually remember specific conversations I've had with taxi drivers
Yeah.
over the years that have given me such an insight
Exactly. Like
into
don't
their
get me wrong,
lives.
amazing conversations. Like genuinely, like some of them are like eye-opening advice. Some of them are like proper like waffle, but like the good ones.
You do get advice sometimes.
Yeah, it's so nice. But like, I mean, it depends on the context. I'm someone who books taxis only if I don't have any other option. So then I just have to I just get in the cab and I just like keep my mouth shut. I sometimes just close my eyes and I just sit in the back seat. But like, if it's like 3 a.m. and the driver's conversing with me, then like I can't even say no. I'll feel bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. If someone really wants to chat, you feel a bit rude
Yeah.
having
I mean,
that conversation.
they don't get to talk much the entire day, so why not? But like, yeah. Apart from that point, which was just like a personal outlook, yeah. I mean, it's so nice to see that the future is being tested firsthand by the people that are in charge at the top, and I'm interested to see how this is going to go. Again, another point, probably from a personal outlook, but from a driver's perspective, taxi drivers are said to be very rash on the roads. I want to see how this changes that.
That's the thing, is
I
that
hope this changes.
ultimately, I think we had the conversation last week, ultimately,
Yeah.
once the AI technology is fully there, it could potentially be safer than a human, but that will remain to be seen.
That margin of human error is obviously like lesser in these taxis, but I hope that when it was like modeled, like the reference was not like a taxi driver. The reference was just like a normal driver. Like, you know how you
That
get
is a vast generalization of safety of
no.
drivers.
I'm saying this is because this is just like like a thing which everyone keeps talking about. I've noticed it. I think you as well know it. Like, they can get rash sometimes, and it's always a taxi. It's always a taxi.
I saw a very empathetic tweet, so I won't claim it as my own. Someone
Yeah.
was complaining about delivery drivers, being like, "Oh, they're rash."
Yeah, I understand.
No, I was no.
That I understand.
I hadn't finished. Someone had complained about delivery drivers, and then the other person was like, "They're on the roads, 12 to 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
They have tough lives. Have a little bit of empathy, and also."
They have
Because
a
you're
very
seeing so, and because
limited
you're
time.
seeing so many taxi drivers on the road, because you're seeing so many delivery drivers, because
Yeah.
we're doing so many orders that actually, I would say the majority, like all of us, when we look at, peace and love and happiness and negativity, the majority are good.
Yeah.
But the 10% ruin it for the rest. So there's probably is 10% of drivers who aren't that good and who still use the road rules from their country, which is different to the road rules here. And they do the thing
It's like bad apples in the
and the bad apples. Like all drivers on the roads, 90% are good, 10% are on their phone. So I don't think we can tar all taxi drivers.
I think that number is way too high. You're giving a good room for leeway. 90% are good on the road? No way.
I'm giving an example of we shouldn't tar taxi drivers.
No, I'm not targeting. I'm not
As a
I'm not
generalization.
targeting. I'm not targeting. I'm not even generalizing. Obviously, there are good ones. Luckily, the ones I've sat in have not driven rashly, and even if they have, I'm okay with it because I also drive fast. But there are just some, man, like, no indicators, way too fast, like left lane to the exit in like this.
Yeah, I agree. There are some.
Yeah.
Same with every.
Like delivery drivers, I understand because I think people are way too harsh on them. Obviously the companies are because they have that limited time frame that if you reach within like if your driver's not here by this time you get your food for free, and there are a lot of people who have the issue that where's my food, especially during peak hours. That I understand. Some taxis need to like this need to fix up.
How did we go from this to that? Speaking of limited time frame, let's move on. Tomorrow-Backed Terra Solis Dubai officially is closing its doors.
So after 4 years of electrifying music, desert vibes and unforgettable nights under the stars, Tomorrowland-Backed Terra Solis Dubai has officially closed down. Organizers announced the end of an era on their website, thanking visitors for the unique memories made at the desert destination and saying a beautiful chapter comes to an end.
Terra Solis opened in 2022. You can check out those fabulous photos beside us if you're watching the show, as part of a collaboration with the world-famous Belgian festival Tomorrowland. Now, local partners as well were part of this, giving Dubai residents a unique blend of live music events, pool parties, dining entertainment, and also a really cool option to glamp in the desert. So it quickly became a standout nightlife destination, and people came from all over the world to attend.
And the closure happened earlier than expected after developers claimed the site, meaning the land is being repurposed, with residential development planning in its place, and the desert hub had to make way. According to posts shared online, the current plot where Terra Solis is sat, it's being taken over by developers including Shobha for new build-outs, likely villas or like community living spaces, although official plans have not been publicly confirmed as of now.
So there you go. That's the end of the super popular nightlife destination. It looks like reports say it will be, as Parth said, a potentially housing development by Shobha. So that will be taking its place.
Another community being built in Dubai.
Another home community.
Is all I can say. I mean, that's the sector that's booming over here, and if Terra Solis had to be closed, then it had to be closed.
Yeah, it's sad. But don't worry, there's plenty of more party destinations in the city if that's what you're looking for. Let's jump into our next story. A woman's bank cards were charged while still inside her bag. I saw the story online, shared by Naomi D'Souza, and it's actually a very big warning for us all. So she said her mom's colleague was at the grocery store checkout and she had her wallet inside her bag. Now, she didn't take out her wallet to pay for this payment. She used her phone instead, so she used Apple Pay and left. But within minutes of leaving, her phone started lighting up with transaction alerts, multiple charges after another, through all of her cards. And so what they believe is that someone used an RFID reader to scan her wallet remotely to access the cards, so someone next to her in the checkout. Thankfully, very quickly, the bank flagged it as suspicious because of the multiple transactions and blocked everything in time. Naomi shared the story to urge people to use the RFID blockers, or you can get these wallets basically and place them on both sides of your wallet to get that extra protection.
Well, I have no words. Like, what am they're just getting like, this is like insane level of scam.
Yeah, I agree.
If you put this much effort into a job application, maybe like you'll get something.
Know.
I saw the video as well, and she was talking about these like RFID blockers, and now I think a lot of people have to be on like a double cautious alert because of the fact that the cards are not even safe in your wallet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, what is one supposed to do?
What is wallet?
Like, what is one person supposed to do?
This is the thing, and it's funny because when I saw this, Naomi, if you're watching it, I also thought it was an ad for a second.
No.
People are basically saying they thought it was an ad for the blockers, right? And
I saw the seriousness on her face. There is no way that's an ad.
Well, she commented and she said, it's crazy how many people are thinking this is an ad. My mom did her own research because she was basically telling people, suggesting, oh, you could buy this blocker. And everyone's like, oh, it's an ad. But no, she was just trying to help people and be like, this is the one that you could buy. So basically, you have to get these things on both sides. Now, I'd never heard of an RFID blocker until this point.
Same.
But there are many different types that you can buy to protect yourself from this type of scam. And Naomi was simply doing us a good service by telling everyone about it, but everyone just jumped in saying, stop selling us an ad.
I still don't know what to say because, like, you went from getting scammed on like phone calls to then getting scammed on basis of your Darb and Salik, and then getting scammed for the parking QR codes. And now it's not even safe in your wallet. Like, what does someone do?
You have to be extremely vigilant.
Because I saw the comments and people were saying that you can keep the card like on your phone and stuff. That's good, but that's also not as safe as it sounds, because like obviously it's happened to people who've had iPhones, like my friends. Whenever like it happened to like, I think one or two people, they've tapped from their phone on certain places, and then the money like from the account just kept getting deducted. And then subsequently, I also saw videos saying that, because it's on your phone and this and that, you have to disable the NFC option, only use it when it's needed and stuff like that. So even keeping them digitally on your phone is sometimes like a bit of an issue depending on where you tap it and all that. I just use cash at this point. Bring back cash.
You know what's interesting? Don't bring back cash. But the interesting thing...
Why?
Because it's so much easier using Apple Pay. Apple Pay is such a lifesend, apart from not having the money for small tips. But the interesting thing is we are in one of the safest cities in the world. I think Abu Dhabi is the safest city, but we're not far behind. We always rank top 5. And so camera level wise and city infrastructure wise, it's super safe.
Yes.
People leave their keys in their cars, they leave their homes unlocked. We're not condoning it. But people do. And yet at the same time, the scammers are doing everything that they can. And so I think just awareness is an important point.
It's awareness and I have to stand like this with my hands in my pockets now, right? Like supermarkets,
No, you don't. Just buy an RFID blocker. It's just a new thing we have to think about. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the Lovin Dubai show. If you're just tuning in now, and if you've missed the show and you'd like to hear it in podcast format, you can also listen on your drive home wherever you get your podcast from, which means you can listen on Spotify.
You can listen to it on Spotify,
Apple Podcast, Ankami.
There is Podio.
I don't think you...
Oh, so, it's distribution.
Lots of podcast apps. But that is the end of the Lovin Dubai show. Thank you so much for joining us, Parth.
Thank you so much, Lizzie.
And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful Monday. Enjoy the sun, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.